Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. Can't believe we're in April already, but you know what it means? We've got a new challenge at Lavinia. Now, remember, we have a theme each month. The winner is chosen at random, which is fabulous, and the winner gets a £40 voucher to spend at Lavinia. Now, this month, the theme is Stargazing. Now you can take that. We've even got a stamp called Stargazing. We've got so many fairies. We've got stars. We've got animals. We've got a moon. You can take it, the inspiration, and use it however you wish. You can think outside the box. We can have cheeky mice. You just let your imagination run riot. Now I've come up with a little project today to share with you. And this is my take on stargazing. And I've got Raven here, sat on a beautiful branch, and we've got the North Star here. And we have some other stars, and one of our beautiful sentiment stickers, Twinkle. Couldn't resist that. And I don't know if you noticed, but my sticker does actually twinkle. I've put Wink of Stella over the top. So, again, like I say, you will have so many ideas of your own, but I thought I'd just share this with you, and it might just give you some inspiration for the challenge, because do you know what? I would certainly enter. I mean, what have you got to lose? And I think it's up to 5 times you can answer, but it'd be worth checking that. All the information's on the website. So I'm going to start for this particular piece with some multi-fairies cardstock, and this one's 5.5 inches square. It's amazing how much you can fit. Look at that on that size. Just the matting and layering just really extends it. And we're going to stamp Beautiful Raven first. So you know me, I need my pile of copy paper. Now she's quite a sizable stamp. And I'm going to use the black, the Versafine Clair, the Nocturne. Now I need to give plenty of light taps. I always sort of, I was going to say worry, but that sounds wrong. Because I'm not a particularly good stamper, and because I have arthritis, which is getting worse in my 2 joints, I have injections for it. It's not a problem, but I do find my stamping, I need to be a bit more mindful, you know, a bit more sort of thinking what I'm doing, and I do find the copy paper helps. And I want to sort of towards the base of my design, and just to get that branch there. There we go. So again, you know, some of you will be able to lift the acrylic block up straight away and get a beautiful image. Me, because of my little difficulties, I find I have to let the ink really soak in, especially with larger stamps, with silhouette stamps. But again, we're all different. You know, often we get asked questions, and all we can do is give you sort of advice and then say, do you know what, you'll find your own way, because what works for me won't necessarily work for everybody else. When I started off, you know, I used to listen and get as much advice as I could, maybe 3 or 4 different ways of doing something, and then I would try them all and see which one, sometimes a bit of each of them, and that was the way I went. Right, now I'm sure she's behaving. Yes, I'm happy with that. She's such a beautiful fairy. Now, again, we've got lots of foliage stamps that I could use around, but I'm going for one of the little pound, the mini stamps, and this one's leaf 5. And I'm going to stamp it up in Shady Lane and then some Nocturne. As you know, I like to use 2 colours. I just think it gives such a nice design. So we'll add some, I mean, this branch, you can leave it as a winter branch. We've got berries you could add. As I say, we've got foliage. And that's what I like. You can decide. I mean, again, I'm going for sort of a little bit of greenery. But if you want, if you're thinking it's more autumn, you can bring in your browns, your oranges. And we'll have some 1st and 2nd generation around the side, I think. So I'm just going to come in Again, the second generation will just help with your perspective. And I am going to leave some sort of gaps because I'm going to come in with the black. And as you know, for me, what that does is it just brings black in the design somewhere else, not just on my main image. And I just find, for me, it works well. It also helps with perspective. And that's something I do think it's important that we get in our lovely designs. Yeah. And often, if you're not sure, if this is something you haven't done before, my suggestion would be to take a picture at this stage and then add the next bit of stamping. I've just wiped my stamp look with my Inky Binky because I'm going to black now. But yes, take a picture with just the green and then take a picture when you've added a little bit of the stamping in the black and just see, you'd be amazed what a difference it makes. So I'm just going to add one there and then maybe just the edge there. I'm just going to turn my card round just because it's easier for me. Funny, isn't it? I find it easy working upside down. How bizarre is that? And I don't want to overcook it with this, but I just want enough. It'll really emphasise the frame. And I will turn it round so you can see. Now, I'm just thinking, see, I like that shape there. You don't want it all the same distance. I think just one. I do think just another one there. Because I'm going to stamp the North Star there. So, yeah, I like that shape. I may do another one there, but I think just on the edge. Yeah, just the hint of. I think if I'd have come too far down. And that's the other thing, remember, you don't need to stamp the full image. So that was leaf 5. Now, somewhere I've got the North Star. There we go. And I'm actually going to stamp the star in black, but then I will add some sparkle. And for some reason, this one for me, I always catch the edge. And unfortunately, if I don't take the ink off, me being me, I know it's going to catch on my design. Again, it's all knowing about, you know, what works for you and what doesn't. And especially when I'm recording, I know those little tinkers of mishaps. So I'm thinking here. And again, I'm just going to give that a minute for the ink to soak in. Lovely. And again, I'm just giving that a wipe because I'm going to take it off the block and put it back on its acetate, and trying to keep my fingers clean, she says, trying. So I'm just going to give that a blot, just because we're going to add some Elements ink now. And I want to make sure it doesn't smudge. It will be a shame to smudge that beautiful work when we've got it there. So I'm going to come in with my circle mask, and I want the smaller one. And you know me, I'm just going to turn this upside down. Yes, I think that's the right size one. And I'm going to come in first with Della Blue, just to give me the beginning of some colour. But I don't want it very strong to start off with. If it's too strong, I like to build it up. If you're happy going straight in with a strong colour, by all means. For me, if I do that, it doesn't work for me. So I'm just going to build up just around my circle mask. Almost gives me a halo around the North Star. Just topped up my bird feeder that I can see out of my craft room, and I have to say it's very busy this afternoon. Got a beautiful little long tail tip that keeps coming, and the noise. Right, lovely. So I'm going to give that a wipe before I put it away. But then the robin comes, and it does amaze me how almost in charge the robin is. Does like to sort of move all the other birds away. So there we go, we've got that there, but I just want to add a little bit around the rest of the card. So again, I'm using my brush. Now I am going to add a darker colour, but I just want to take that initial white off. Now if you've got a new ink pad, I've used this a lot. So it's quite pale, it's not as juicy as it was. If it's a brand new ink pad, I would suggest starting in the corners and then coming into the middle. And I'm just going round our beautiful fairy and almost building up a bit of a halo around her. Can you see? Probably doesn't pick it up very well. It's such a light colour. And when I've built that up, I'm going to now swap to my purple stencil brush. And this is the large one, the number 9. And I'm going to bring in, just in the corners, some of this beautiful violet chalk. I just want more of a purpley tone. You know, that sort of ethereal, those skies you get with beautiful blues and purples and reds. I think there's some amazing skies around. You know, we can learn so much from nature. And often, you know, just adding the purple to the Della blue, I do think these colours work really well together. Right, I'm going to stop there. Now the next one, this is the biggie. I'm going to come in with dark denim around the edge. Now for this, I'm going to use one of our little blending sponges. Now we often get asked which is best, brushes or sponges. And I always put, well, it depends what you're doing, because everybody has different ones for the job. Now, I love my brushes, but when I want a dark colour and I really want to build it up, for me, I use a blending sponge. But other on the team use brushes. So you use whatever you are comfortable with. For me, the sponge, I can just get a lot of colour on quickly. Now, bear in mind, this is, did I say dark denim? I did. Now, it is dark, strong colour. So, although I want a lot of colour, I need to be mindful, gently, gently. So I'm just going to start in the bottom corner where I want it deepest. And I'm going to work my way around. And I always ink up in the corners, look, even if I need to go back here. And I'm just doing circular motions. Move my card round. Again, I'm going to start in this corner, plenty of colour, dabbing it off on the lid and then working my way down. And I'm almost using the shape of the leaves, so I'm going to go follow that shape down there and then onto this corner. And although I want the corner dark, I don't really want to go much over that lovely moon shape. So just bring them, don't mind if I go over it a little. And I'm just going to bring it in a little bit more here. And as you can see, you almost get some wispy edges. And I'm not that keen on those, to be honest. So what I tend to do is come back in with my beautiful purple and the brush and just go back over that edge. And it will just soften it. So any bit I'm not keen on, just going to go back over. Yeah, I prefer that. So we'll just give this a wipe. So again, I'm just going to... Now you could mop this up with a piece of card, but just while we're filming, we're just going to mop it up with my Inky Binky. And you can see how it's starting to build up. Now what I do want to add just in the background here are some words. And what I've got, we have some sets of stamps that are fabulous, our sentiment stamps from our signs. So we've got the moon signs, the spirit signs, the psychic signs and the crystal signs. Not easy to say that. And these make fabulous accents just in the back of your work. And I've decided I'm going to use, when I can find it, the grey, the morning mist. Now, again, if I were you, I would have a go on your copy of paper to decide whether you want first or second generation, or a combination of both. Oh, so that's just dropped on my carpet, but never mind. Luckily, it wasn't on Eric. He's a little bit further under my table. So I'm just going to come in and I'll probably do the first one here. And because it's quite dark around the edge, I'm going to do first generation for each one. And I'm just going to alter how far they come in. So this one, I just need a little bit there. And I think the grey is perfect for this. And then if I've done it right, I'll probably be able to get one there. And then just possibly the top line right along the bottom. There we go. And I just think that adds a lovely bit of shape. And that morning mist, as I say, is perfect for that. So we'll give that a wipe and pop that back. Those have got some black dots, but we're okay. So what we'll do, we'll just stamp our lovely stars now. And I've got, again, a couple of the pound stamps. And I've got the Stars Group Mini and the Stars 2 Mini. And I'm going to use two different colours of VersaFine Clair, Golden Meadow and Cheerful. They're just slightly different. And really, I'm just using the two different colours because I've got them and I like to. But you can stamp them all in the same. I just like to add that little bit of variety. And I just think it makes the design a little bit more interesting. And this one, I'm going for first and second generation. Just almost so these are the stars that are further away. Might even just pop a third in there. Yeah, that's enough. Don't overcook my stars. So I love the way that's built up. So I'm thinking it's time to add some colour. So got my watercolour pencils. And I'm just going to come in for a yellow. And where the North Star is, now again, I could have stamped it in yellow, but I really wanted it to stand out. And I just like, because Raven's in black, I wanted a cohesive design. So I'm sort of edging it with my watercolour pencil look. And then I'm just going to colour her hair. Again, with the yellow. Got beautiful. Look at that lovely blonde hair. Just going to come with a little bit of deeper yellow. And then for her wings, I think we'll have a little bit of red. And some orange. And again, you can colour these in whichever way you want. I often just like to use what I've got out. So I've got my Wink of Stella here. And I'm just going to, and this will activate the watercolour pencil, but also give my beautiful star a lovely shine look. And I'm just going to go around the moon, just as well to have that extra shimmer. And then while I've got my Wink of Stella out, I'm just going to add beautiful, and I'm going to watercolour her wings. Now this is important, always start on your lightest colour. So look, if I go to the yellow, then into the orange, and it'll just blend it, and then finally into the red. Now before I do that little wing, I'm just going to take, because I've got some red colouring on my pen, so go back into that, look. Just give it a little bit of a clean. There we go, it's gone back normal. So I'll just get my pastel pencils, and I'm just going to use the white just to add a little bit of highlight. So again, I'm just going to add a little bit on her hat. Now again, you can use your gel pen for this. I just like my pastel pencil just because for me it's what I like to use, and then just give it a little bit of a smudge. And for me, I avoid the face. I maybe just give her a little bit of a cheek, just because I'm not very good at doing the face. So, but again, like I say, we all have things that we like and we don't like, don't we? Right, pop those away. Now I'm going to add some water splats, just because if there's any areas of your blending you're not keen on, but also I just want to make it look a little bit more sort of ethereal, and I love the way this happens, that beautiful faux bleaching. So I'll get rid of that, and I've got my fan brush in my water pot, and it won't affect any of this stamping. I can go right over the top, look, because we've used permanent ink, the water will only faux bleach the Elements ink, because that's dye based. It's got water in its recipe, whereas your VersaFine Clair's permanent, so it hasn't. So again, and if you want to control it, if you're not sure how much, you can always just give it a bit of a dab and see, and it will work more obvious on the darker colours. And I just love the way that starts to... Now I'm going to let that merrily just work away itself, but what I want to do is add a little bit of sort of shimmer, glow. You see here on Raven, there's a little bit of glow around her, just from the North Star. And I've come up with a way to do this. I worry, if I use my Posca, it comes on too thick. So what I've decided to do is, and I love this little trick, if I just pick up a little bit of my Posca, and this is the sparkler, the yellow one, I can then paint it with my Wink of Stella around my beautiful fairy. But the more I paint, the paler it will get, and it will go back to just the sparkle of the Wink of Stella. So now I've got just sparkle, I can go to fit bits that are further away. So I'm going to add a little bit more yellow there. But then as it goes, look. Now round her face, I'm going to actually just use the Wink of Stella. And then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on top of her hat, look. And down the front, just round her hair. And then just drag that colour out so it almost goes to not being any yellow. Just the sparkle. And for me, it's just, I just thought I'd share it with you. For me, it's a lovely way. I know when I colour the lamps, you know, we have the gorgeous lamps, and I can't get the yellow of my nib, even though this is one of the smaller nibs. This is the 3 ml. But I find the point on the Wink of Stella is perfect, and just pick it up. And then I'm just going to give that a little bit of a blot. And I think we'll add just a bit of sparkle on some of these stars. Now again, you could add your glitter. I'm just going for the Wink of Stella sparkle. You've got your stickles, so many things we could use. And that's the design so far. And I'm just going to quickly just pop my heat tool over it, just very quickly, just to dry off. I want to splat some of my Posca, so I need it to be dry. So I'll just do a quick, there we go. And then just to finish off for me, the sparkly Posca. And then I'm just going to hold it close because I want it just round here. I don't want any on Raven. You can always pop a little bit of kitchen towel or if you want to protect her. But I know if I just hold the pen away from her and face it away, we'll be fine. And again, I'm just doing gentle. Don't need to hit it really hard. But I love the way the sparkly Posca. And if I bring it a bit closer to show you, can you see, especially in the, look at that yellow sparkle just adds, and it gives you another dimension. You know, we've got our lovely sentiment, our words that are stamped. We've got our faux bleaching, and then we've got our Posca. You know, on that one piece of card, we've got so much dimension and perspective. So last of all, to finish it off, I'm going to add one of our lovely sentiment stickers from set 6. And this one, I'm going to go Starburst. And as always, I'll pop it on my scissors just to see. I might put it, do I put it? Yes, I need it at the top near the stars, don't I? Although I quite like it. No, this one I'm going to pop it down here. Just to be different from the other one. But what I am going to do is come in with my Wink of Stella just over the top, and it just makes it a lovely sparkly sticker. Can you tell I'm really into the sparkly? And then there's the finished design, and there's the one we've created today. And I hope that's given you some ideas. Oh, the sparkle showing up on this one, it's nearer to my little light. So I hope you have fun, and I hope you enter the challenge. As I say, remember, £40 voucher to spend at Lavinia. Just start thinking, what would you buy? Have you got a wish list? Oh, I always have a wish list, always. Even though I visit so often, there's always something new on my wish list. I notice new things, they sneak on the website, and I think, oh, I need that, I need that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. You take care, everybody. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.